start to sell.
Yeah.
Spencer Hawken,
Hello.
director of No Reasons.
Yes.
Right, now, this is your second feature film, yes?
Technically speaking, it's my third now.
Right, okay, but the second full-length feature film?
Yes.
Right. Now, your first film, Death Walks, that was a zero-budget production. Didn't have to spend a single penny on it, yeah?
No, not.
You've actually got a budget this time.
Yes.
Has that made a big difference, would you say?
It's made it harder.
Harder?
Because it's where you spend the money. Whereas before, everybody came along and they were all part of the thing.
Yeah.
And they wanted to be there. And money wasn't a discussion that you had to have. Now we've had to have negotiations, we've had to have make serious decisions about what we can afford to have and what we can't afford to have, and who we can afford to have and who we can't afford to have. So it actually made it a lot more difficult. And of course, while some people have been very, very generous in giving us locations for free, some couldn't do that, and we had to compromise on locations, etc. But you know, on the whole, it's different. It's different. It's a much more professional team, much more structured, and I've got an absolute killer first AD called Thibaut Travers who keeps us bang on top.
Right, so can you tell us a little bit about the film?
Okay, the way I always describe it is it's a bit of a kitchen sink drama that goes into some fairly horrific other ends. I think I also described it somewhere as being Grange Hill meets Saw.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Okay, so it's a film of two different halves. I suppose very much in the same way that From Dusk Till Dawn kind of spurns halfway through into something you're not expecting. We kind of do that here, except the world here is very, very real. Whereas From Dusk Till Dawn it's kind of more imaginary. But the sort of things that happen in No Reasons happen in real life all the time. The story sort of circulates around a young girl who goes missing, and over the course of the film we chart 18 months, and first of all you start to experience what life is like for the parents, played by Mark Bannerman and Lucinda Rhodes, after the loss of their daughter. But the turning and dividing point is when the girl, Jodie, returns home. And that's when it all kind of goes very dark.
Now, you've got quite a mix of different actors on this. Now, this is a very sort of dark thriller, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
A lot of the actors that are in this you wouldn't really associate with this sort of film. I mean, you've got a number of comedy actors in this,
yes.
like Vicky Michelle.
Yes.
You've got, as he says, former soap actors like Stuart Manning. You've even got a former Big Brother contestant in
yes,
this. I mean, what made you want to pick such a diverse and some might say unlikely, group of actors for such a dark movie?
I think it's very, very important that people don't get typecast into one thing. They need to have choice, diversity, etc. And sometimes those options aren't open to people. So what we did, Lucinda, who's my partner in this, that's Lucinda Rhodes, sorry by the way, we sat down and we decided exactly who we wanted. And we went after those people. So people that inspired us, people that we'd worked with before, people that we knew. We went after specific types of people. So Daniel Peacock has worked with Lucinda Rhodes on a number of projects, Harry and Kosh, Cave Girl. More recently they made a film called Landscape of Lies together. Mark Bannerman, also in the same film, but obviously most people know him as Gianni in EastEnders. Roland Manukian from films like Football Factory and Rock and Roller. These were all people that we really, really wanted, and we specifically targeted because what we wanted to do was do something different with them to what they normally would do. So while it might on paper seem like a strange choice, I mean, Dexter Coe, for example, from Big Brother, he's actually a professional actor. People, just don't know that. And Vicky Michelle has a very, very dark side, and I thought it was really good to sort of exploit that dark side.
I remember she did The Virgin Witch back in 1972, was it?
Yes.
But that's about the only other horror film, or horror type movie I know her from.
Yeah. Well, similarly dark. As I said, I think when she's just got something about her, something quite, you know her from comedy, but she's got a real dark kind of stark contrast to that. I think is probably the best.
Now, a number of the actors who were also in your first film, Death Walks, are most appearing in this. I mean, was it a deliberate decision to include them, or did it just sort of work out that way?
Yeah, I think big believers in payback. So people that work for us for nothing on Death Walks, and we were really, really happy with. It was the obvious choice to make them work with us again. But this time, give them a little bit more depth, a little bit more of an important role, and obviously to pay. So yes, it was very clear. And I think when you're comfortable with working with someone, it makes perfect sense to work with them again.
Now, there's a rumour that the script gave one of the lead actors, I think it was Mark Bannerman, a number of sleepless nights after he read it.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously?
He read the script, and he said, I don't know if you want to put this to air, he said, Spencer, darling, I've read the script. It's fucking horrible. He said, this is the most depraved thing I've read in my life. And it's taken me 2 nights to get a decent night's sleep. He said, because you kept me up all night. So that's a Mark Bannerman impersonation there for you, by the way. So two interesting factors there. But no, he was very, very freaked out by it. Mark Bannerman's character is very diverse. This is a long way from Journey in EastEnders. It is a massive contrast that we do. And I think any actor that we would have approached for this role would have had severe reservations. It is, I can't really say what we do, but there are limits I think that a lot of actors will take. I needed to find someone who was prepared to crash through some barriers.
Now, you're on a 10-day shooting schedule here, aren't you, this week?
Yes.
Which we're part way through. Is everything going to plan, and do you reckon we'll get everything finished on time?
As it stands, it's looking very likely. With Death Walks, we were notorious for going over what we should have done.
Yes, I remember those days well.
We plan a 12-hour shift, we shoot for 14 hours, that sort of thing. On day 1, we finished 15 minutes early. On day 2, we finished 15 minutes late. Day 3, so far, we're on schedule.
So when do you hope to get everything finished, and hopefully we'll see this on DVD or at the cinema?
Our last day of shooting is the first week in April, and we're going straight into an edit, very, very quickly into an edit. As I said to you earlier off camera, I think there's a very, very good chance that you're going to be seeing No Reasons and Death Walks at the same festivals, at the same, coming out to the public at the same time. We've shot No Reasons in a very different way to Death Walks. Death Walks has lots of cuts and lots of... These are long, extensive scenes of almost one take. But there's also some nice shadowy bits. Any Italian horror fan is going to probably be quite impressed with what we've done here in terms of look and feel, the way the scenes are cut together. It's got a very giallo type feel about it. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of tying together of the clues, there's a lot of sexiness. Yeah, I apologise, I have diversified from your question quite a lot there. But yeah.
That's all right, keep going. This is all good.
But yeah, so I couldn't tell you exactly when this is going to see the light of day, but it is my most serious intention that this film is edited as quickly as possible, because when the script started circulating, we know we've encouraged people to do similar projects, so it's very important that we're out there first.
Right. Okay, well I think it's almost time we was getting back on set, so I'll better leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to me again.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye. Daniel.
Yeah.
You play the character of Maurice. Could you tell us a little bit about your role?
Well, basically, he's a sort of not very good private detective who gets slowly involved in a rather unpleasant, horrible sort of world, which he didn't intend to do, and he gets sucked into it, and rather terrible things happen to him.
Right, how did you get involved with the film, and what attracted you to the role?
I got involved with the film when the producer, Lucinda, phoned me up. And I got back with Lucinda, I've known her since she was 14, and she worked on a few projects that I was involved with, and we always got on, and then I've worked with her to be honest with you, about over 100 episodes of various shows. So she phoned up and said, Dan, have a look at the script, would you like to do it? And I said, of course, Sims, of course I'll do it. And I'm very pleased I did.
Okay, now you've covered a very wide variety of roles in your career. Although a lot of people probably associate you with your comedy roles. I mean, I always remember you in those wonderful comic strip series with Aid Edmondson and Rick Mail.
Yeah.
I mean, do you tend to find people as a whole tend to associate you with comedy acting?
Yeah, I get associated with comedy acting, I suppose, or idiot acting. You need to know for a buffoon, phone me up. But that's very fair to say, and I've always loved comedy. I love watching comedy, I love writing comedy, I love being in comedy. So comedy's been pretty much my career. There have been, and funnily enough, this actually is a bit of a departure, because this isn't a very funny part at all.
I was going to ask you about that, actually. I mean, this is a very dark sort of thriller, isn't it? I mean, you think people familiar with your other work are going to be in for a bit of a shock when they see you in this?
I'd like to think when people see this, they'll be surprised that it's not just comedy that I do. I do other things.
Great. Now, apparently several cast members have found the script to be a bit disturbing. I mean, did you have a problem with the script at all?
To be honest with you, I've found, I mean, it is quite. Listen, I'll be honest, it's a disturbing piece of work. It is disturbing. There's certain scenes which I find slightly difficult to play, not because I'm a terrible actor, but because the material itself is quite scary.
Right, and how would you have you enjoyed your time on set working with Spencer and the crew?
Working with Spencer and the crew has been great. I mean, he's a great guy, and all the crew are fantastic.
Right, so hopefully you'll be working with them again in the future then.
I'd like to work with them. I'd like to work with them all again in the future. Yeah, I mean, the top guys and girls. It's a relatively low budget movie, and they're working their bollocks off. And I like to think I muck in and help. All hands to the pump, so to speak. And hopefully, it's going to be a disturbingly wonderful movie. Let's hope.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you get on with your next scene now. Thank you very much for talking to me.
My pleasure.
Daniel Peacock, thank
Cheers.
you. Cheers.